the architectural data is just for those kind of, they want to expand. You know Bob Cosby? Yeah, he got me in Edward Jones in his office, and I'm on my fifth one now, like 4 years. I'm doing one at Spring Hill right now, which is a clusterfuck.
So what's Bob? Is he like?
Are we waiting on anyone else, do you know?
No, he's actually working his way for, he's like second.
So we don't have,
Overseeing people, but he's mainly just got involved.
we have a quorum, but do we have the applicant?
She said she was coming.
We'll use that clock up there. We'll give him another 5 minutes.
I got no plans.
I had a fun morning getting a root canal.
Oh, okay. That's sort of, you sound, but you know, you're still.
It took him 2 hours. I couldn't get the clamp on it.
Oh.
Who'd you go to?
A lady across from Countryside High School.
Not sure you live up that way.
Teo, she's Chinese.
For Ross. You remember Ross, the urologist?
Mhm.
Yeah, his son's Chris. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's over there by Highland and Bel Air.
My dentist doesn't do root canals.
Yeah, that's all. He's like oral surgeon or whatever.
But it's okay so far.
Yeah.
Wait and see when
Yeah.
all the Novocaine wears off. I never
Is
had
your
anything like
Motrin
that.
out?
Sunday, we were watching my niece's graduation from college in New York on the internet, and I was like, I've never had any pain like this. You know, except when I broke my leg. And it's like, there's something really wrong here.
That was really embarrassing.
Not you personally, but I mean the city?
Well, yeah, that's why when we see something like that, we've got to cite it. We've got to address it somehow. We can't just walk away from it. And, but his discussion still is about what was he doing on the voter registration?
Right, and he was trying to get some grant or
All
something.
his focus is.
Yeah, he was trying to get a grant or something that was gonna help him.
Yep. The last that I had heard from him, he is it would be just like whenever we heard of it last, whatever that was.
Are you Yvette?
November, right?
No? So we're still waiting for Yvette?
Vicky, you talked to Yvette? The applicant?
I did, via email, I've never seen her in person.
Yeah, okay.
These people trade more like NFL.
I just
She
don't
said,
know.
yeah, she was good.
Everybody's
Thank
friends.
God.
You know, like NFL coach.
Yeah.
Coaches
I
are all
don't
friends.
understand. I don't
Yeah,
ever
they'll go here, they go there.
Call everybody, hey, you want to be on
Yeah, so,
They do the same
so,
thing.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, I had someone living behind, I live on the power company's right away, and there's some areas where the bushes are kind of thick, and I had a female behind my house, or was one over, there's a vacant house, and my dog was going bonkers. And she was living there for a couple of days, and finally I told Bill Horn there, can you, or I was gonna call.
Okay, all right, good, we'll do that. We've got a
Police
little
chief,
picture presentation
what's his
and stuff,
name?
so we'll do that.
Slaughter, Dan Slaughter, and say, send somebody over to look at this, and I was talking to Bill, and he just texted him, said, send somebody, they were gone.
she's doing all the.
I came home that night, they weren't there, and I took the bed roll and the pillow and trashed it, and there's,
Establishment there with the city.
all right. This will be the meeting of the Flood Board of Adjustments and Appeals, and is called to order on June 4th, 2019. Agenda of today's meetings are on the wall at the entrance to the chamber. Please remember to turn off your cell phones. To ensure a complete record of the board's action, we ask that each individual wishing to speak, including the appellant, step to the podium, clearly state your name and spelling your last name for the clerk. If I talked funny, I had a root canal this morning. Study Florida Statute Section 286.0105 requires any party appealing a decision of this board to have a record of the proceedings to support such appeal. Code of Ordinance Section 47.034 provides that decisions of this board shall be final, subject to judicial review in the circuit court or reviewed by the countywide Board of Adjustments and Appeals. If an appeal is filed within 15 days of today's decision, in the case involving codes adopted by countywide application and enforcement. Now I ask that all those who plan to speak please raise and be sworn in by the clerk.
Swear affirm the testimony you must give the entire truth.
Yes.
We'll now move to roll call. Would the board members and staff please identify yourselves?
Phil Jester, board member.
Mark Hagney, board member.
Earl Cooper, board chair.
Kathy Helmus, board member.
Jay Daniel, attorney for the board.
I'm Kevin Garrett, the building official.
Moving on, we have next order of business is approval of minutes. Our first order of business is review and approve the minutes of the board's last meeting. May I have a motion for approval of the minutes? Catherine?
Yes.
So moved. Second? You can second.
I second.
Okay. Motion has been seconded. All those in favor, or say aye.
Aye.
Any discussion?
I have to say aye.
We weren't here for the meet.
That's a bad.
Okay, so we're gonna approve the minutes. Aye.
Okay. Any discussion? Motion passes. Citizens to be heard. RE items not on the agenda. Is there anyone here to speak to items not on the agenda? Yep, there being none, we are moving on. Moving on to new requests. Board cases are considered quasi-judicial hearings. In such a hearing, the board reviews the application, staff report, correspondence, and all testimony and exhibits presented today and makes a final decision subject to appeal. Witness testimony shall be under oath. The case will proceed as follows. Presentation by the applicant, 10-minute maximum. Presentation by the city staff, 10 minutes maximum. Cross-examination of witness by applicant. Cross-examination of witness by city staff. Comments by public, 3 minutes maximum. Closing remarks by the city staff, 3 minutes maximum. Closing remarks by the applicant, 3 minutes maximum. Closing of the public hearing, discussion, and vote by the board. Case before us today is an appeal of the building official's decision, case BAA 2019-01001, for the address being 1135 Tangerine Street. Is the appellant here? So Jay, what do we do now?
You can continue.
Continue?
Say
We'll continue with the appellant's not here. We'll continue with the board.
You want the city to present this time?
Present, board,
City staff.
city staff, present the presentation by the city staff.
Okay, all right, we will do that. I would want to put on the record from Vicky, you did hear from the applicant, Yvette. I would like to put that on the record, right, that she had acknowledged this and had said she was going to attend, correct? Okay, and I'd also like to put on the record, Sam, you got green cards returned, that she was properly notified, correct? Okay. All right, so this is a property, 1135 Tangerine Street, that we did a housing inspection, housing code, which is part of your manual here. It is included in there, which is looking for basic minimums of a building to live there. And we have a presentation to show you some pictures of the violations. We wrote it up, cited the violations, sent it to the property owner, Ms. Williams, and Ms. Williams contested it with this appeal to our decision to write these items up that they were not in compliance with the housing code. So Sam Swinton can present that for us.
I want to say good afternoon to the board. Again, this was a housing complaint that came in and went out and did an inspection at 1135 Tangerine Street. I wanted to show you a few items here. There were cited 9 violations from our standard housing code. And as you can see, they're from Chapter 3, Sections 302. There are sanitation issues. 302.5, there were some heat issues. 302.9, was no smoke alarms present at the time of the inspection. 304, there's some electrical issues in the home. 305.2, there are exterior walls. There are some holes. You'll see some pictures shortly. 305.16.2 has some issue with some floors. And see 305.3. 305.2 soffit and fascia, 305.5 the porch, and 305.8 windows to be glazed. I sent out the housing report back in January 30th, 19. That certified mail was returned unsigned on March 4th of 19. I then sent out, I did the affidavit of posting on the property on 4/2/19. This kind of gives you an area where the location is located. It's in the North Clearwater area, just, I would say, east of MLK, 1135 Tangerine. This is the home in question. This is the front view of the home. At the time, in January 29th, I took this picture. And we'll start kind of going through some of the items that I noted. On the side of the home, the crawl space was open. That needs to either be screened or covered to prevent any kind of rodents or anything going inside. Again, I noted the window pane that was cracked, and the screens are kind of displaced, and those items need to be repaired. This is the interior of that same window from the bedroom. And you begin to see some of the writing of the framing around the window. And this is kind of a sign of how all the windows are looking. Again, another picture of that window. This is the front porch, and where the blue area is, the tenant is standing there, and it shows that it's starting to sag. The wood is beginning to rot and beginning to show some soft spots. Again, they tried to replace one of the support posts, but screwing it into rotten wood actually doesn't support it. We have some electrical issues. As you can see, all the electrical wire that is exposed. This is in the laundry area on the outside of the building. They just decided to put a laundry room there. Again, exposed wiring. This is in one of the rooms inside of the home. So the light fixture is beginning to pull away from the ceiling, exposing the electrical box, which could be a hazard. This is the interior of the hallway floor. It's kind of hard to see in this picture, but there is some cracking of those tiles. Could become a trip hazard, and also it needs to be impervious to any kind of water getting underneath it. This is the posting that I notified the owner with the housing report. And that is all I have at this time.
All right, thank you, Sam. So our request would be to agree with us that those are housing code violations, not tremendously serious, but maintenance kind of things that need to be done and meet those code sections, and have the homeowner repair them.
So we move to the cross-examination, but there is no witness. So, any comments by the public?
This is the actual tenant who actually made the complaint. If you like to hear from her.
Did she sign in? She doesn't need to sign in? Would you like to say something? State your name.
Swear from the testimony you're about to give us the entire truth.
Yes. My name is Val Carty. I'm the one that called in the initial.
So would you spell your name, Val?
It's my full name is Valirica, but I just use Val. It's
Okay.
just easier.
And what is your last name?
Carty, Carty. You're welcome. I called in the initial report to the city of Clearwater. Mr. Swinton did an excellent job with the presentation. He pretty much detailed everything that is going on with the unit. At this current time, I moved out as of this past Friday, but things have gotten worse there. There are a lot of little, they look like little fruit flies that are flying around the house now. I had mentioned to Mr. Swinton that there are roaches that are behind the oven. You see them in the clock. She tried to say that I was the one that brought them there, but I didn't bring them there. And I lived there for a year, and she never said anything to me about them, so obviously it's not true. Also, the grass is getting very, very high, and that definitely needs to be trimmed as well, so that's something maybe you want to add to your report. But everything that he noted there is definitely what's going on and more. So that's pretty much all I would have to say at this point.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you ready, Ms. Williams? Ms. Williams, you're at the point in this proceeding where it'll be your turn to speak. If you want to make a presentation to the board, that would be the perfect time.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Yvette Williams, and oh, you do? Don't know.
Swear from the testimony you're about to give us the entire truth.
Yes. Okay, I've been the property owner since 1990, and obviously when I purchased the property, it was nothing the way it looks now. When I first got the property, it had holes in the floor. It was a typical tenement shack, and over the years, I've done several intermittent renovations. I own several properties in Clearwater and also in St. Pete, and they are not in any deplorable condition, as has been painted by whomever. I also want to say that I have never seen a copy of the report until today. I got a copy yesterday, sent to my email, and the building where I work, and I generally work out of town, but the building that I work in, you really can't see Google Chrome. It's the email, the old internet. So, but anyway, I was able to see it today, but prior to that, I had no knowledge of what was in that report. I called Mr. Swinson several times. I have been down to the court, to the department where he works, and Mr. Swinson, I think he is the person who made these allegations. And I have also been down there. I ended up speaking to his supervisor, who informed me that he would call, and he never did, with multiple calls. So actually, today was the first time I got to see the report, because the reports would go to the property and the tenants would take control of them. Historically, when I've sent people to fix anything at the property, a lot of the individuals, they come back and told me about the person who is sitting there, that she's very mean. I also have copies of texts between myself and that individual, and they have informed me that she's very difficult to deal with. She is very belligerent. She has gotten rid of several of my tenants. I have copies, text copies from them, how when they get home to work, they're in their bed. When she gets home, she harasses them, and a lot of the tenants have moved out as a result. I chose not to put anyone in there while she was here. While she was there, she moved out last Friday. I evicted her. And I chose not to bring anyone in that environment, because it, if I have people who are there after she leaves, whatever she told them, it's going to be repeated to subsequent tenants. So I chose to not have anyone there. So I don't know what her side is, but I do know that whenever requests came over to me to fix anything, it was done. I would like the members present to know that I am not a slumlord. My motto is, if I can't live there, I would not have anyone living there. People often tell me that I spend too much money on my properties to fix them up because they look better than the average property that tenants reside in. So I feel that the reason there was a discord with the person who called Mr. Simpson was because she felt she was better, and I do have text to prove that, than the people who I was bringing there. And as a result, there was this impasse, and she just did whatever she could to get rid of them and get them out of the house. But while both of us were in court while I was evicting her, I saw maybe one or two of the pictures, which I'd never seen before. And the judge even commented that the property is beautiful. Again, I used to be an inspector for the state. I inspected nursing homes, and you could go into any building, you could find the fault of anything. And I once had a supervisor who said you could always, if you want to fire somebody, you can fire them, because everything they do, you just focus on that. I dare say my property is not slummish, and it is not in disrepair as being painted. And I think it's unfair when someone could go to the city, and I read the rules where if I'm driving by and I see a property in disrepair, I could call the city and they'll go out and make them fix it. So it doesn't have to be someone who lives there. Anyone can do that. But I'm sure if you go in Clearwater any day, you will find properties that needs fixing, and it's not done. The same gentleman who came out to my property, he was fully aware that their house next door was in ill repair for many years. There were extension cords hanging, and he did nothing about that. And I knew he knew about it because before they put that sign for no dumping up there, I've seen him there in his vehicle, and he knew that property was there, and he chose to not act. And the rule says, even if I'm driving by and I see something, I could report it. If you live there, you could report it. If it's reported to you, the city can take action. And he knew that property was in condemnable state before this year, and he did nothing about it. So I don't know why he is trying to do what he's doing. So maybe we could get some answers here.
Ms. Williams, while you're at the podium, you weren't here to hear Mr. Swinton give his testimony. Do you have any questions that you'd like to ask him about the case? You'll be given a few moments to do that.
Well, I feel that
Not how you feel, questions as to what you'd like to ask him. Let me stop you for just a moment. You're here, and you've alleged in your appeal that the building code has been either misapplied or misinterpreted, and you're asking this board to overturn the decision of the building department in that regard. Do you have any questions relative to that issue for Mr. Swinton? Because the issues with yourself and your tenant are beyond the...
She's not a tenant of mine.
Ma'am, let me finish. Are beyond the power of this board. It's a private relationship between you and whatever tenant you have in that property. The issue is whether there are building code violations and whether the building code has been properly applied and interpreted as to your property. Do you have any questions for Mr. Swinton relative to that issue?
I would like to say, and again, he doesn't make the law. I feel.
Ma'am, you need to face the microphone. Mr. Swinton, if you have questions for Mr. Swinton, I want to give you every opportunity to make your case before this board. Questions for Mr. Swinton?
I would like to know why you didn't call me back. I hear multiple comments in the neighborhood about you giving people breaks, and I just wanted to know, why do you feel that you had to, first of all, why didn't you return my calls? You've made multiple visits to my property without me even knowing what is going on. I did not get copies in the mail because I work out of town, so that you sent their information via certified mail, and unless I'm at the post office during the day to get the information, it is going to come back. I think most people usually would send it regular mail with the intention that the person will get a mail. And even with my incessant calls to you and your supervisor telling me you would call me, you never returned my call. And I just wanted to know why you chose to do that.
I'm going to stop that line of questioning there. Ms. Williams, do you have any questions for Mr. Swinton as to the application or interpretation of the building code relative to your property?
I'll need to get my phone to see.
I can't hear you.
I was saying I will have to go and get my phone to see those things.
Ms. Williams, now is the time. You've been properly noticed for this hearing. You were aware of this hearing's date and time. The record will reflect that you came in 15 minutes late after Mr. Swinton had made his presentation, okay? Do you have any questions for him relative to the application or interpretation of the building code to your property?
In regards to my property, why is it that you chose to do what you did when you know that there are multiple people in the community who you just close your eye to, and pretend that it does not exist.
All right, we're going to object to that. On behalf of the board, that question is not within the scope of this hearing. It's irrelevant. The alleged building code violations in any other property at this juncture are not before the board.
It's not germane.
Okay, they're not relevant to the issues that you're here to decide. Do you have any questions relative to the application or interpretation of the building code relative to your property, Ms. Williams?
Would you let me get my phone?
For what purpose?
It has the email they sent me yesterday. I told you prior to that, I did not have copies of the citation or whatever is on it.
At the pleasure of the board.
Can't you put it on the screen?
Who's the email from?
Miss K, yeah. He was the only one who sent it to me, and it was yesterday. As I've said repeatedly, he never responded to any of my phone calls. And yesterday was when she sent me the instructions to getting here, and at that time I got a copy of it.
I believe what we've got here is the question is on code compliance and the process that is laid out in the city's code compliance book is that the inspector may try to make contact with someone on the property or leave a card or an informational door hanger, which was done.
And they were removed by the tenants, sir.
If we receive no response from you, a notice of violation will be mailed to the property owner and/or occupant, giving you a specific amount of time to comply.
And I never got any.
It came back.
Right, he sent, I think he sent a certified mail, I can't swear to that. But whatever was sent was certified. And I work out of town, and if something is at the P.O. box, and that is my mode of communication, if something is sent to the P.O. box and it's not picked up during the day when the post office is open or during the time, the allotted time for pickup, it goes back to the sender.
Okay. The next item on the list of code compliance is if you need additional time to correct a violation, please take time to telephone the inspector, which you say you've done.
Several times.
Mm-hmm. And the goal is to voluntarily achieve compliance through communication and cooperation. What address do you legally use?
I legally use the P.O. box. That's where my taxes go. And I've never had issues getting anything from the municipality. But the method he chose to use was the signature. But again, I know historically people have done both. They would send the certified, and they would also send an uncertified copy. And usually I would get the uncertified copy. In this case, I got neither. And I took a day off and came and went to see him in his office. But when I got there, he was in the field. His supervisor, the person identified themselves as a supervisor, and told me he would have him to call me, and he never did. I have never spoken to him at all during this whole...
Did you leave a voicemail
Yes,
on his
I did.
extension?
Multiple times, sir. And he never responded to any of my calls.
How long ago did you call?
I called over a period of time, and I think
This has been going on since January.
Well, again, I didn't know about it because it went to the post office box and it went back. So I was totally unaware that something was being sent to me.
I think I'm confused.
Yeah. Can we ask Mr. Swinton a question? Mr. Swinton, did you receive the voicemails?
I received one voicemail from Miss Beth.
Get so you can get on the speaker there.
Yes, I received one voicemail on my line at the time that I received this complaint. I didn't make the call, return the call as my supervisor advised me to do so. I got a voicemail. It said it was full. So there was no way for me to leave a message. I don't know about multiple calls that she said that she made. However, if I can speak on as far as the certified mail, that is the legal way that we have to notify the tenants or the owners, is by certified mail based on what the property appraiser has as an address. We have to send that because we have to get a receipt back that they received it. If we get the letter back unsigned, we post the property, which I did. That's the second legal way to do it. She did not respond to the posting, and that's why we're here today.
I got
Shall we move on to the closing remarks?
I think you've had sufficient, if you think you've had sufficient record development.
Anyone else on the board have any questions? Do you understand that the purpose of this meeting is not to go over the tenants that you've had, what they've done, who's done what, who's taken mail? This is all on a procedural thing that has not happened. And now you are aware? Is that true?
I was aware today.
You're aware today? Closing comments by the city staff?
Well, I would just like to point out that she was aware, Ms. Williams was aware of something on April 29th when she made this application. And whether she was aware in April of what she was applying for or appealing, or whether she's aware now today, our ultimate goal is for compliance, to just get those repairs made. And, you know, we are fine with a reasonable amount of time to do that. And really, that's our only reason for visiting the property, is to just get the repairs and maintenance done on the building that needs to be done.
Thank you.
Do you have any closing remarks?
Like I said, I think if I go over there, the grass would be uncut because I sent someone to cut the grass and she told them, don't cut the grass. These are things I've had to deal with her. So when people were sent, I'm not relating to this, but to do other things, they were met with hostility, and that is why she had to get out of the property because, you know, and I think what I've learned from this is subsequent to what has happened, when I have problematic tenants, it would be in my best interest to get them out because it leads to bigger issues. When I knew she was preventing people from going there, it should have been at that time that I got rid of her instead of waiting months later for all of this to escalate.
One thing I'm not quite sure of is if you said that you just found out about these code violations and you saw them just the other day.
Yes, today.
Just today?
Mm-hmm.
How did you apply for this meeting?
Because I heard.
Who'd you hear from?
I've been in that neighborhood since 1990. People know me, and they will call me, you know.
So you knew something was wrong?
Right, I knew something was wrong, and that's why I took the day off and went down to the city because I had nothing to go by, thinking that I would get at least, you know, what she did yesterday. I would have gotten that, and we would have been further ahead. But they took them down.
Anybody else have any questions?
When was the last time you saw the property?
When was the last time I saw it? I think I was there, not last Saturday, but the previous Saturday I was over there.
You been inside?
Yes, I was inside. I went to the back, but it's just like go straight down the hall, like, you know. And I will say this, when we were in court, she had the pictures showing the judge why she refused to pay rent. And so I said, let me see those pictures. And so I did see one with there was a hallway light. And well, what triggered me to do that, she was alleging that there were wires that are hanging. And I know I'm not that careless. Obviously, when it comes to wiring, your antlers are going to go up. So I definitely wanted to see that particular one. So I did see it, and apparently what happened was somebody was moving a dresser. It was a real long dresser. It's a kind of narrow hallway. And in maneuvering it to go into the room, it hit the lamp, and it knocked it off the thing.
Ms. Williams, we're not interested in how
Right,
things happen.
right,
We're interested
right.
in
I get
the
it.
process.
So I was answering his question to say, yes, it was there, and I was able to see one of the things that I knew was a problem because she was talking about it.
Is there anything on the list of problems that you've seen that you're not in agreement with being a problem? I mean, are you fully agreement with the items Mr. Swinton detailed, that those are issues?
I didn't do any detailed search, and the reason is I didn't want any confrontation with her. So I went there for a reason, and I left. Because she's not a very, nice person, and I just wanted to avoid any conflicts.
Are you in agreement that if those items on the detailed list are in fact true, which we've seen pictures, that those are
I
items?
saw the picture of one thing, when she talked about the frayed wire,
Right.
that definitely alerted me, and it should anybody, because you don't mess around with wires.
Well, unfortunately, you missed his presentation with additional photographs with other items that are definitely non-compliant that need to be attended to.
I will read the report. I do have people who work for me, and they will go and take care of it. It's not a matter of taking care of it, it's a matter of access and knowing. I'm not a slumlord.
Do you have access now to be able to fix these items?
I should, yes.
Are we at the closing now?
Yeah, that's the time limit for closing.
Does the board have any comments, or may I have a motion regarding the appeal?
I'm just curious of what the procedure is. If we are in agreement with the city's findings, what's the next step? I mean, is there
Well,
a
then,
time period?
yeah, then the code has got some timeframes in it that Ms. Williams needs to do the repairs, call for inspection. Once everything passes inspection, then that case is closed and she's code compliant and we're all out of there.
And I don't know if this.
Excuse me a minute. So the description of the request that we're sitting here for is that we remove these items or these violations. I'm understanding that correctly?
Right, that's what
And we believe that there are these code violations.
Right.
So I would say that the reason we're here is to remove them, and they should not be removed. And I would put in a motion for
And
that.
also, let me suggest to you beyond that the existence or non-existence of the code violations is really a matter that is within the jurisdiction of the Code Enforcement Board, whereupon city and property owner can make their case as to whether it's a violation or not. What you're being asked to do in this case is to determine that the building official or staff has misconstrued or misapplied the building code.
So that it would be removed. And that's why I'm saying I would say it should not be removed.
So the motion is?
The motion is denied to removing it, yeah.
A second motion.
Any discussion? None? Can we we've approved the motion, we vote on it, can we reset the time clock? Give her additional time? It's just up or down?
No. Your finding here is whether the building official misconstrued or misapplied the building code or did not. The time frame is going to be set up through the code enforcement process.
Okay. Call for the vote.
So you have a motion and
Yeah.
a second, and now it would be appropriate to vote either by ayes. Do we do roll call? No. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Seeing none, that motion passes 4-0.
Okay, so I don't know if I could ask a question at this point.
The hearing's been concluded now?
Okay, so do I need to go down to the city and see what the outcome?
There will be a written order of the board issued within a few days or a week or so that'll be mailed to you.
Okay.
All right.
So I know he was asking about resetting the clock. Would I need to go down to the city to talk about
Ma'am, I can't give you legal advice, I'm sorry.
for the city?
Yeah, if you want to come down to our office, meet with either Sam or I or both of us, set an appointment, and, we'd like to hear what your proposal is for bringing these repairs into completion. And we're over at 100 South Myrtle, second floor, Suite 210.
That's where I went.
Or if you're at work or whatever and want to do it by phone, we can do that too. We can accommodate whatever you need.
Perfect. Because 99.999% of the time I'm out of town.
Okay.
Some indication, and I do have people who I can just call, and they have many ways of paying people, so that is not a problem.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you. All right. So long.
Does the city have any other items for discussion today?
There is one thing I will bring up is we have a opening on the board. If anybody has any good suggestions of somebody who might be a possibility, why send them to me and I will forward them on to the city manager.
Applications are online,
Oh, applications are online too. Okay.
under the city clerk's office.
Okay. Architects, engineers, contractors is the makeup of the board. Yeah, who live in Clearwater?
So,
No, you don't have to live in Clearwater? Okay, never mind. Go online and look.
Give them,
Clara doesn't live in Clearwater.
I don't either.
I do.
All right.
You might be
Long
looking for
time.
more than one board member.
There being no further business,
Yeah, that's all I
move
had.
for adjournment.
I move for adjournment.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Adjourn.